Crickett, what are you doing?
We're actually going to work on my car today. So today's video is going to be about building a reliable, cheap drift car. My car's not really cheap, but it is reliable. So I'm taking my daily E46. We're going to take and put all new bushings in the subframe, adjustable PMC control arms in the back. And then we're going to do IRP differential bushings, subframe bushings, and we're going to throw a chase base hydro in here. It's going to be sweet. That's all you need. Weld the diff too. Don't forget to weld the diff. Stay tuned. Joelle has left us to our own devices, so that includes me trying to figure out how to zoom this, there it is, and focus it. So we are putting in the parts. I wanted to go over all of them. We have PMC lower control arms that are adjustable, so I'll be able to do my camber, which I wasn't able to do before. I got my IRP bushings for the rear subframe and the differential. We got our sweet level ride hydro bracket that's going to go with this sweet chase base inline hydro. I don't want to add extra calipers. I mean, hell, one of my calipers is already seized up and I'm going to end up replacing it, but not today because they don't have it at the parts store. So we're going to run this bad boy with
Locked up caliper.
Locked up caliper. Doesn't really lock up, it's just always kind of grabbing, you know?
Preloaded.
Yeah, it's preloaded. So we're going to put all this stuff in. I just finished putting steel on the subframe. So before I install the bushings, I wanted to show you. If you guys have the chance and you're going to do this subframe stuff, you know, redo your bushings, redo all your control arms and everything, go ahead and go online, find yourself a cheap subframe on Marketplace or Craigslist, if that's even a thing still. And then you can do all of this while your car is not on the lift. And you can still drive your car, get everything done on this.
Maybe the old subframe swapper.
Yeah.
It's way easier than trying to do it all in one day. Drop subframe, knock bushings out.
Yeah, and 9 out of 10.
We have a lot of E46 non-M's around here, so now we just keep swapping them out.
Yep, and if you're lucky and you buy one that already has the bushings removed, you don't even have to worry about it. You don't have to do your work. So yeah, thank you for that, Chris.
Shout out Andrew Maurer for this little fucker.
Yeah, shout out for showing up late so Chris couldn't use it, and then I didn't have to knock out the bushings myself to use the subframe. So, thanks Maurer, appreciate you.
Someone does. All the bushings pretty much are going to look like this, with the exception of two of them, which are going to have this. Now your front subframe bushing has a stud, which has this crown, and that crown needs to sit inside here. So your front bushings on the top will get these guys.
Aha.
Science.
Since Chris got it taken out for me, I'm gonna pop this diff open, drain it, clean it with about 2 cans of brake cleaner, and then we're gonna weld it. I'm gonna show you how I weld a diff. It's different than a lot of people, and I'll explain to you why I don't use the plates that everyone else does. So stay tuned, let me pop this out, clean it out, and we'll go from there. He has bushings all in. Just knocking in the last 2, and then we'll be able to put the diff in after I get done welding it. But he needed me to help him with the bigger bushings because it took one of us to hold it down, the other one to knock it in.
Yeah, tight fit. That poly really gets real slippery once you put some grease on them, but you know, we're here.
Over here asked if he could weld my diff. I informed him the answer was no. Because the first thing he started with was, are you going to use plates?
Yeah.
Also a no. And I showed Adam why, and I'm going to show you guys why. Now that it's open, this is actually one of the cleanest diffs I've seen in a long time. We've broken output shafts on the E92 multiple times, and where it breaks is inside of here. It shears off, and then you have this stub that's stuck in there. And if you put a plate on this, you can't reach the output shaft. So if you leave it open, you can take, shove, flathead in there, smack it with a hammer, and it'll pop the output shaft if it ever shears. So I'm gonna weld this in. Maybe I'll let Adam do one side, I don't know, maybe. I just need one side to be accessible, to be able to pop these out. So we might let him weld one. All right, so I have welded the diff, and all I do is I weld the spider gears to itself and then also to the housing right there. And I make sure to leave that open so we can pop a flathead in there to get the output shafts out. Fully welded diff. Never had one come back like this. Never broken, never any issues. Make sure to put a whole bunch of brake cleaner in this once it finishes, you know, cooling down.
And make sure it spins properly before you use it.
Yeah, make sure it does this thing, the thing you want it to do. That's it. So you want to do. Now, while I was doing that, Chris went ahead and threw this subframe in here with all the new bushings. He also threw in my PMC adjustable arms in the rear. So the only thing left to do is to put the diff back up in there and add the hydro. and bleed the brakes. We should be able to do.
And then we're gonna put that bad boy in there.
Ooh, Billy. Yeah. No.
We have the technology.
We have the technology. What we don't have is the funds.
This is the way my bank account is set up.
Yeah, it don't have Jay-Z money. It has.
Who wants to trade a 1JZ VVTi for a 8 HP and a transmission controller?
Whoa, it's worth more than that. All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Who wants to trade me an 8 HP for a
1J VVTi.
1J VVTi so I can be like Chris and we can, yeah. I mean, we're already probably going to do the same color and whatnot. We're going to love in the
Because
crew.
we got the sedan, we have the coupe, we have the wagon. We just need somebody to get a vert and they can come mob around with us. Hot boy body kits on.
You get T-shed vert and then we got it all.
Yeah.
Boom.
Automatic drift cars?
Automatic. Automatic. What are you,
She don't know how to drive
Alex?
stick.
What are you, Alex O'Blexon?
Yeah.
Teacher.
Testing by merch time?
Not yet.
Well, it smells like gear oil.
It smells like gear oil. It takes twice as long when I have to stop and film. So Joel, luckily, is back from the bank, so we can
Yes.
make it happen faster.
Big money, man.
Big money. Where's it at?
No, it's all gone. It's in the bank. Whoa.
There it is. There's the money. So the internet's call for 1.5 quarts of 75 W90. So instead of trying to pour it in the thing, after you put the cap back on, just sit it right up on its face and pour it in there. Put your RTV on there. So it's a lot easier. Well, that guy, where's my RTV at?
You already cleaned the surface and all
Yeah.
that?
Scratch all your surface clean. And just go on the inside. Around the inside edge of the bolt holes.
Did you already explain to the people that you have an angle kit already and stuff?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I believe so.
Oh.
I mean, I did it with you on there. That's what.
Oh.
That one's still goopy.
Do you do the thing where it sits for a little bit and then you torque?
Yep. Yeah, you wait 10 minutes. You just cinch them down. You don't finger tighten them because finger tightening, that's, you can use that as a term of reference and be wrong. So just enough to where it just cinches down. Just enough to squeeze a little bit out on it, and then you let it sit for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and then you squeeze it the rest of the way. So just enough for it to start seeping out the edge. That's as tight as you want it to go. And then stop. Go do something else. Like make sure all your bolts are tight in your subframe. Or go eat a sandwich.
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying if they didn't have you, go check your bolts. The camera heard you tightening those bolts. Everyone heard you. Timbuktu heard you. They're tight. So if you're not Chris, take this time to go check your bolts. Make sure they're tight. He uses German torque spec, which is Guten tight. Unshun, reshun. All right. So we're going to put in our Chase Base Hydro. It's a reverse mount, inline. And I want to take this off, take the master off and flip it. That way the lines are actually underneath and not going into my legs. So where it sits inside where the window switch is. So we're going to take this window switch out and I'm going to have Chris wire it maybe tomorrow. He don't have time today, but he knows how to wire it to where the right window switch will actually make both of them go down. And I don't really care about one going down versus the other, except for at the moment, my window regulator is broken on the passenger side. So he doesn't, semantics. So he gets a free get out of jail card. He doesn't actually have to do the wiring today, but got this from Chase Base, and we also got this from our boy Level Ride. One of our best subscribers. He always comments on all of our videos. Shout out, thank you. You make a great product. They come already nice, dual action, sanded, everything ready to go.
That bracket can actually be flipped 4 different directions. If you want to put your hydro on your passenger side, if you want to have it towards you, away from you, if you want to put it on the driver's side, reverse mount, forward mount, whatever, it flips 4 different directions, however you want to bolt it up, which makes it really convenient.
He did the work for you, so you don't have to figure it out. Just bolt it up, plate it. I can make all my own brackets I want to. I'm going with his bracket. Why? Because it's awesome. There's no improving this. Just bolt it on, weld the plate on.
You can't, cut circles that good.
Yeah, I can't cut this good. He has like a laser cutter, it's real clean. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's great CNC cut, I'm not gonna make my own. Even Ben in shipping asked, like, you could just make your own. We have them here, and they're not that expensive at all. Worth it, worth it. So all I gotta do is position this where I want it to where it's gonna fit, and then I'll mark it with my marker, take it out, weld it in. There, you don't actually have to weld it, but we just might. I don't know. I'm gonna start peeling apart the interior first. So I actually have a full interior in this. This part's a little crusty and broken. I need to order this, but I have all new door pods, all trim, everything. Chris got me a radio for my birthday 2 years ago, and I put it in last year. So I'm gonna pop this out, take these off, and I could use some new window
Switches?
too. Yeah, the switches, because they're a little crusty.
Hit the switches.
Hit the switches. And I don't have a rear view mirror because I hit that boulder on I-95 that one time. Thank God that this car was all-wheel drive, because the subframe on it was so beefy that it didn't destroy everything. I think I got to cut that back. Definitely got to cut that back. I got a nice back seat. There's Joel.
That's real nice.
Carpet.
Carpet.
Move that little bit right there. It should be good enough.
Crickett came out of nowhere with the face mask and angle grinder. Things are getting very serious.
Well, these two stock studs actually don't work. You got to cut them out and then drill new holes.
So you're gonna do that.
I'm gonna see if I can.
You don't have a smaller one?
Nope.
Get the pneumatic.
I'm just gonna snip it and then sand it.
Oh, you quite literally the snip.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and snip a little bit off of it, and then I'll just grind it flat if I can get that in there. Now that I cut those studs down, so I had an automatic in here before. It was a manual swap.
Yeah, looks pretty good.
It fits the contour of the trim too, which is sweet. So just at the market, drill it, bolt it in, and then get my hydro placement, and we should be good. All right, so we have swapped the master over to the proper side. We took this apart to actually put it inside of window switch, I'm sorry. Chris told me that the coupe one is only like this big, and he was really jealous that I have that much.
Well,
So, yeah.
you have that much more.
I have that much more than Chris. It's pretty exciting. Oh no.
No, the hydro's bolted onto the plate and everything, or
This hydro won't work for this
why?
because this right here
Oh, it's real big.
comes up and goes
Well, you can
onto
trim
that.
it a little bit, no?
I could, but still too high. I'll have to like notch it out, and then it wouldn't be connected there anymore. That's not gonna work.
You changed the hydro?
We changed the hydro from a reverse mount to a normal mount because I still have my airbox in here because I have AC and everything, and this actually hit that, and it was so far back that it wouldn't have worked well. So we're gonna go
push hydro. You know, you just...
a little pushy. So we're gonna remove this since we cut it. There's no reason to have it. It's a manual. Put it in gear. You don't need an e-brake.
Yeah. Spent all that time taking the cables out since we're removing it anyway.
Yeah. All right, so we have our interior back together. To cut out a little bit more to clear this because the way this one fits, it actually can't go any farther over with this hydro because the way they set up the master, it's turned sideways, so it's actually wider here. So this actually touches the side console. So for you E36, E46 guys that want to keep your console, I would go with a hydro that mounts with the master up and down like this. So it allows your hydro to be tighter in to fit here. I honestly don't care. I like the Chase Phase one. It gets it far enough away from the steering wheel so I don't have to worry about hitting it because I daily drive this. Yes, I could have done a pull-up, but I don't like them. I like to pull back hydros if I even use it at all. It's more just there for aesthetic purposes, you know. You don't actually need a hydro to drift. My 5.0 E36 convertible I installed a hydro. I never even used it. I sold the car before I even pulled the damn thing. So you don't need a hydro to drift, but it does help, especially for initiations. Chris is gonna come in, run the line, so we're gonna bleed this bad boy, and then we're gonna go do some testing by merchandise. Pretty excited. Been waiting to say that in our group chat since we moved here. So I'm finally gonna get to do it today, Joel. Testing by merch.
Testing by merch. This is the line feeding from our master cylinder to our ABS module. I used a 4AN flare fitting and adapted the 4AN to a 3AN. This is 3, so our hydro will get fed from this line that's coming from the master cylinder, then our outlet will go here, which will split it to our 2 rear brake lines, which will feed our rear caliper. That way we don't have to run lines all the way to the rear of the car. We're trying to make this as quick and simple as possible. So now we just got to find a spot here to pass our lines through. That's going to be a Crickett job. You can drill some holes and figure it out. And we're just going to use these 2 lines right to the last master cylinder, and we'll be good to go.
Crickett out here, whole mechanic. He built this whole car.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
I thought you were putting it on lines.
Yeah, now I'm doing brake lines. Don't trust this. You're gonna want to get this inspected by an actual mechanic.
You made it to the bleeding process.
Yep. Oh, I already feel it going through there.
Imagine it just goes through. It's like, oh yeah, it's done.
It's pretty good already.
Yeah.
It ain't the one, but it's almost there. So what I do when I'm doing an inline, I'll hold this back and then I'll pump that up so this doesn't create more air gap in there. See that? It pushes the hydro forward.
Oh wow. It's been a while since I've done inline bleeding.
All right, holding.
Sounds real good over there.
Well,
Nice solid stream over there.
yeah, I'm waiting for the air pocket.
Air pocket.
Holding.
It's got to go through the master cylinder.
Oh, there's some bubbles.
A little bit there. Close.
Oh, there she goes. Oh,
That's the air I was looking for.
That sounds like me.
Closed.
Sounds like me yesterday after sushi.
Sushi's loose.
It's bled. Just have to tighten my master a little bit.
so testing my merch soon.
Testing by merch very soon. That's how easy it is to turn your car into a drift car. Weld the diff, add a hydro, add angle kit, some new bushings. Bushings help. That's it. So now I have a daily drift car and we're gonna go test buy merch. I've been waiting to say that in the chat for like 3 years now.
So another thing you might need is a guibo, but
Maybe. That could be what it is. It's making a weird noise.
Rattling?
We'll find out.
we're about to find out. This is the first send ever. I think you should try first gear. Oh, you broke something. Crickett! You popped your front tire. You debeated. Crickett, you debeated your front. Bro, I put 40 psi in there just in case. Bro, that was wild.
Yeah. I was like, what is that? I feel like shaky. Oh yeah, look at that. Maybe it rounded out that dent. I hit a curb like 3 months ago at racetrack and I got this one and I feel
Yeah,
so
is
bad.
that why you have a dent here?
Yeah.
Oh, nice curve.
I was pulling into racetrack and the sun was so bright I could like hit me right at the spot. I couldn't see anything and it felt the first one and then I knew the second one was coming. Luckily I have like 8 extra ones of those, so not worried about that one. This one, a little worried about, so
No, I'll be fine. I
yeah,
just need
it's not
air.
bad.
So we should put air for real.
We should definitely put air and try again.
Yeah, let's go back to the shop.
Let's go back to the shop.
And try drifting it first.
Try drifting at first.
Yeah. Look, drive slowly on that.
Anybody can drift in first.
Yeah,
I wanted to
but
see
like,
what it had for second.
Yeah, it has some sauce in second.
Definitely has
You just
plenty
gotta go
of-
faster.
Go faster. Yeah,
But like
yeah.
actual drift. But I think
Yeah.
first gear.
First gear figure 8.
Yeah.
Damn, hella stance on this side. Look at that poke, the hokey pokey. Aw,
Crickett! What happened?
I don't know. Took a dig out of something somewhere.
What'd you hit? Oh, what? Is there anything here that you could have possibly hit? Maybe you hit full lock and a half? I don't know. Tommy's hunting for tires already with Mimi. Alright, after carefully reviewing the footage, Crickett determined that it possibly hit something in the back.
Yeah, because if you look at if you watch the footage, it shows that the wheel is turned this way and it goes. Psh,
I think
so-
it hit that.
Oh,
See that sharp corner right there?
Yeah, look, here's the tire in here. Ha
You need rack limiters.
That's part of it.
Yeah, Crickett, you need rack limiters. So you can stop.
Yeah, that's a whole ass tire in there. Yep. I needed new tires anyways, so it's fine. You know?
I literally
You know what's
just
funny,
flipped those
Joel?
for you, man. I just flipped those for you.
Joel, if you look at where it hit versus how much this is worn down, I wonder if it would have done it, because I've done full lock and turned a lot in this car and it's never rubbed. These are just squared off more on the inside because we flipped them because of how bad my camber is, and that probably is why I've never actually blown a hole in my tires, because they're already worn down before I put the angle kit on.
All right, well.
Now we know. We're gonna go with 205s in the front now. I think it's a safer option. And maybe 215s, 225s in the rear, not 245s. Yeah, get a little bit more stretch, which means I can drop the car down more. I need to chop out some of the original fenders from the over fender, because I want to be able to squat it down more as well. So, hope you guys liked the video. I finally drifted my car. I didn't drift much, but I drifted enough to have a blowout. And here's Adam with his cookies. The cookie monster. Oh, no thank you.
You do it?
I want a donut. Another one. Just need to find a tire. We're going back out. Yeah, I blew a hole in it, look. I found what full lock was.
Oh shit.
My chassis grabbed it and said hello.
So that looks like you're arranging a date between your chassis and the grinding wheel.
No, big hammer. Fine adjustment tool. You smack that dent right there in, and then we're gonna add some rack stops to it.
Ivan Ivanovich.
You know I don't speak Polish.
Fucking big hammer.
Big hammer. Oh.
All right, Tommy, like, comment, subscribe.
Like, subscribe, and comment.